Welcome back. You're watching The Press Club. I'm Kendall Burton. My guest this evening, Mr. Rick Wayne, star publisher, noted journalist, author, bodybuilding champion. Name it, you've done it, right?
Yeah, I guess I've done it. Yeah, I guess I've done it. But you know, all those things, ultimately, I think I was saying before the show began, you kind of caught me almost off guard there while you were rattling them off. Because everybody has a little history. I was fortunate enough to do mine. If there are any young people watching, then they figure the guy did this, the guy did that, and I want them to know what the secret is. The secret is passion. The secret is belief in yourself. The secret is in telling yourself you can do whatever you set out to do, regardless of the impediments, that you have to disregard the impediments and move over them because you can. Whatever you can conceive, you can make happen. All it takes is to avoid words like sacrifice, avoid telling yourself you're tired. You know, it's like lunchtime. You know how many people don't need a watch to know it's lunchtime? You know, and you know, if you stick and say, okay, and you forget the lunchtime, you know, you continue work and you're not hungry anymore, which can then be dangerous because you can overdo it and not eat enough. Right. But it's amazing the power of the mind. And I want to take this opportunity again to say that I have no degrees in nothing. I'm passionate about life. I've always been passionate about life. As a human being, I'm not a tree and I'm not a rock. Therefore, I think and I have the ability to learn. And even if it will take me 6 weeks to learn something that some savant can learn in two weeks, that's his business. I mean, but I can learn it too. And once I've learned, I won't forget. So I just want to take this opportunity, like, when you're rattling all those things on me, about bodybuilding, from bodybuilding to journalism, every one of those things that I have excelled at, people told me, mainly people of my own color, black people, boy, them thing is white people thing, boy. You know, but we know that's not true. You know, it means that you have to be maybe twice as good, especially in my day, twice as good as your white competition. Then be twice as good. Put twice as much into it. You know, people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who can't be more white than that. Arnold Schwarzenegger did not get to be governor general of California just like that, you know. I've known Arnold Schwarzenegger forever. Arnold Schwarzenegger has no degrees in nothing. The only thing he got was at UCLA, he did a course in business administration. A regular guy. He's no intellect, but one of the smartest guys I know. A guy with a mind like a steel trap about what he can do. Don't tell Arnold he can't do anything. There's nothing you can tell Arnold he can't do. Same with me. Although these days I'm a little restricted with my stick. My back is screwed, and I've just accepted that one.
We talked a little bit about it before the show.
Yeah.
I have looked at you. I'm growing up. My uncles was subscribed to the.
So you're now going to make me an old man, but that's all right.
We know you are. You know, the bodybuilding magazines, I followed your career, the singing,
who was
the
the guy you're talking about? Who's your uncle? Is he your father?
Oh, uncle.
Who was that?
Cecil Burton.
Who?
Cecil Burton.
Who was married to, because I have two brothers, you see. She was married to a light-skinned woman. Cecil Burton, yeah, my friend. Yeah. Wow. You see that? It takes now to find that out? He's in Canada?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
bodybuilder too.
I followed your career for a while.
Yeah.
And I've always asked myself, you know, having achieved all that you've achieved, rub shoulders with the people that you've rubbed shoulders with.
I prefer to believe they rub shoulders with me.
But they rub shoulders with you. I stand corrected. Why have you come back to St. Lucia? Why do you allow yourself to be subjected to the sort of attacks and the criticisms that you've been allowing yourself?
Okay, number one, let's get the last part first. Those attacks and criticism I have had everywhere I have been. United States, United Kingdom, because I'm a rocker of boats. You know, in St. Lucia, you know, we have in the studio with us my friend Sean, and he drives with me a lot. And I'm always saying to Sean, You know, anytime, I'm going to look at the camera straight to say that. Anytime I find myself in agreement with Mass St. Lucia, if I'm driving, I will stop and say, what the hell is wrong with you, Rick Wynn? Something has to be wrong. In other words, I don't expect to be in harmony with regular St. Lucian thinking. Because regular St. Lucian thinking is askew from every reality. People have worked on the St. Lucian mind for years. That's why we are passive sheep. That's why we don't read. That's why we prefer rumor. We prefer to deal with obia and voodoo and bolams rather than read a book or watch a show and get or listen to the man talk directly. We prefer to believe in prayers, whether it's to the devil, to bats, or to whatever. Drink bats' blood, all this kind of junk, rather than
those
read a
same
book.
criticisms you've directed at the media.
Let me finish that one. That was a very good question you asked me there.
Go ahead.
I have the same attacks. Now, I don't see them as attacks. I rock the bodybuilding. Anybody, they put me in the Bodybuilding Hall of Fame in California. And while the citation said that I was way ahead of my time, what they gave me credit for was changing the way bodybuilding was written about. But that same, the way bodybuilding was written, caused me a lot of grief. People didn't like what I was doing. John Compton gave me an OBE for my journalism. And Derek Walker said, boy, you accepted that? And I said to him, Derek, John Compton gave it to me. He said, the scourge, I used to be called the scourge of John Compton, criticizing John Compton. And the last thing John Compton, honor he gave out before he died, was in effect to say, Rick Wayne, you've done a great job for the country, although I was your target so often, OBE. And I went to the Queen, and of course I went, that's for another show. But I came to St. Lucia for the same reason Derek Walker comes back to St. Lucia and doesn't have to be here. I had done everything I needed to do. I thought so at the time anyway. I had books published, I was famous, I did everything I was doing. And you never feel you have accomplished until you've done it at home. And in my case, I never wanted to use the American this. Nobody had me talking about America unless they asked me. You know, you wouldn't even know. I want to win in St. Lucia, and I'm a winner. Everything I do, I want to win. I got a debate with you, I want to win that debate, so I prepare for it. I'm going to write an article, I want to write the best one, I'm going to research for it, etc., etc. I know only how to win. I don't know how to lose. And that's a message I pass on to young people who get the reverse of that. So I came back to St. Lucia because until you've done it in St. Lucia, you ain't done it yet. That is the kind of indescribable, mysterious kind of thinking that happens to you. You can achieve all kinds of things in America until you have done the same in that little piece of rock with all the impediments. You don't feel satisfied that you did it, because the opportunities are over there, and there are more educated people over there, and there are more institutions over there, and there's more money over there. St. Lucia ain't got nothing. So do it here too. And that's what brought me back here. I have never regretted for long. There are times when I wish, damn it, you get frustrated, etc. Politicians, we can't get a new politician. You know, St. Lucia is so bereft of talent that we have to listen to politicians speaking bad English in the house, talk déglissé in the bloody place, and so on. I get disturbed, and I sometimes wish, damn it, I wish I didn't come from this damn place. But that's only for 5 minutes, and I'm back to normal.
The media, your criticisms of the media.
A
lot of people have argued that a lot of the things that you expect from the media and that you do, that you're able to achieve, is because you're in a unique position. You're a journalist of long-standing, who owns his own publishing house. That puts you in a unique position.
All right. It is not unique.
To do things that other journalists cannot.
You know what?
You're talking about hurdles.
Okay, you know what's unique in my situation? My refusal to be bogged down or to bow, to be immobilized by fear. I have the same fears that every other journalist has. boy, you're talking about Kenyatta, the man is the prime minister, what the man might do. I have the same fears. But I refuse to allow that fear to immobilize me. So I do my work so that Kenyatta cannot touch me without getting in trouble. And that's how it is for everything else. I learned a long time ago reading something by a guy called Henry L. Mencken, who was an American iconic journalist. Okay, you may be familiar. Okay, and one of the things he says was, talk about free press, freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of speech until you own the press. You don't have freedom of speech until you own the instrument. Okay, that is stretching it a bit, but what he's saying, in fact, is some people may own a paper and you work for him, you want to write a certain story, and you may hurt the man's friends, etc., etc. So what I have never understood is that I never get the feeling that the journalists see me as a journalist. They see me, I think, first of all, as an owner of media house. I never think of myself as owner of media house. I always think of myself as journalist. Now, my pride is not owning the media house. Owning the media house was something that I had to do so that I could be the journalist I wanted to be. Now, you must also understand there are other people who own presses here and who are writers. They ain't writing. They are not. Think of the other people who have presses, because I'm not the only one, and who write, but don't write what I write or how I write. So obviously owning the press is not the factor. The factor is my soul, my beliefs, my passion, my caring enough. Because there are a lot of reasons to get frustrated, and there are a lot of impediments put in your way by governments that pretend they're for free press and whatever. Look at Linda Dyer. I know the kind of presses Linda Dyer has had trying to run DBS. I know. I know even the other stations that may have a little cooperation are getting that cooperation, but do they sleep at night? You know, sometimes government is helping you out, and you're embarrassed and ashamed of yourself, you know. Because if I can't write a certain thing there because a certain guy has bought me out, I don't think I sleep well. You know, I don't think I sleep well. If I was half jokingly saying on the last talk, anybody who wants to use my experience as a consultant for elections or I'm open. I don't have to drink the coffee I'm advertising. Okay, pay me. But the one thing, don't count on my paper being involved with your crap. Okay, my reporters will not be held back from writing what they want. What you can do is tell me the truth, and I might do some PR for you. But I'm not telling my reporter, don't write your story. My paper is staying out, and my reporters, of all the reporters I've had, Kendall, and I say that boldly, none of them can stand in front of me and say, I stopped them from writing a story because so-and-so. Two of them kind of hinted that at one point, and I jumped on them like from my height. And one was Kurt. What was Kurt? What was Kurt's second name?
Reynolds?
Huh?
Was it Reynolds?
Kurt Reynolds? Who was he was with the VAT thing.
Yeah, Kurt
second
Reynolds.
name?
Kurt Reynolds.
Yeah, Kurt. For a little while we bossed it up. I like Kurt. Okay, and he and another young lady were writing a certain story. And I asked them where they got those facts, because it's a great story. Where did they get those facts from? And they both told me they can't tell me because they protect their sources. I think they were young. They misunderstood that because you protect your source from the public, from the reader.
Not from the publisher.
But not from the publisher. The publisher has the responsibility if it turns out to be libelous. But we have gotten over that. We're friends. But that's the closest we've got. And I didn't tell them not to write it. Nicole was my editor at the time. I told him I am not carrying that unless I know and can validate those facts because they were hot stuff. So I don't know that it's because I own the press that I write. I write what I write because I care. And when I was in bodybuilding, I didn't own the press there either. But I had a mentor who, in fact, the one time he gave me a little lesson. I wrote this article. You know, he kept on postponing for publishing. And one day, one Saturday morning, invited me to his house because I wanted to know why he wasn't carrying the article.
You're referring to Weeder, right?
Joe Weeder. And he says, Ricky, he died. He died about 4 years ago. These are my people. All the people that meant so much to me are gone. Sometimes I say, I'm lucky. I don't know. But so many of the people, one of these days I must do a show on that, because that's what the Green Mile was about. Okay, that you live long enough, and all the people who meant so much to you are no longer here, and you almost don't have a reason to want to continue. But of course, I have reason. I have my wife, I have kids, etc., etc. And Joe Weider said to me, it's a great article you wrote there. But Ricky, you're not going to find a great article written by a Pulitzer Prize winner, but against the Catholic Church in a Catholic newspaper. Yeah. So don't so as great as your article is, I ain't publishing that because I was critical of Weider, the guy I work with. I wasn't even critical of Weider per se. I was critical about bodybuilding and his involvement in the particular way. And he said to me, it's a great article, he wrote it fantastic as usual, but that ain't appearing in my magazine because you don't expect to find any article critical of the Pope in a Catholic newspaper. I got the point.
Yeah. We're out of time, Mr. Wayne. Thank you very much for being with us, and
Thank
look forward
you.
to having you again. I hope you'll accept our invitation.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I hope my good friend Earl will accompany us next time I'm here.
I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, and thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another Press Club. Until then, I'm Kendall Burton, wishing you a safe and enjoyable weekend. Stay safe, enjoy yourself, of course, and bon fête, Creole.
That was enjoyable.